Morning. So it's springtime, right? Yes. Nicer weather, a little sunshine. Really a nice day today for everyone. I am very grateful that all of you are here this morning. Welcome to the New York Community Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Loretta Brooks, and we have a wonderful, wonderful day planned for you today. We are continuing with our theme of divine guidance, and my talk this morning is going to be, what are you asking for? What are you asking for? So having said that, and also saying that however you feel when you come in, you will always feel better when you go out. Not that we want you to go out, but you will feel better when you do go out. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Barbara Munlin, our licensed practitioner. She's doing our treatment this morning. Barbara?
Good morning again, everybody. Okay, so just this comfortable in our chairs, shake off all the experience we had getting here and knowing that we're in a safe place. For we are in the presence of God, and that presence of peace and harmony of God is in tune with the infinite thinker. And we are vibrating with the energy of spirit, knowing the truth, accepting the truth, believing in the truth, trusting in the truth. But that truth within us is the power and the presence of God, flowing through and around every thought, every impulse, every instinct, every idea, everything that we do today, for we are blessed with this divine power and divine presence right here and now. So anyone in this room who is in need of any assistance for health, wealth, love, creative self-expression, open your mind and your thought to the understanding and the awareness that God, ever-present, is an ever-present guide. And with God as your guide, everything that you need to know and do and think and act upon with regard to health, wealth, love, and creative self-expression, Spirit is providing you with the right ideas, the avenues, the venues, guiding you, guarding you, and directing you in ways that bring about the demonstration that you are seeking. For you are held in the mind of God as a perfect being, as a perfect idea, with perfect health, abundant wealth, creative, constructive, supportive love, divine right action and self-expression. For all that God is, each and every one of us is. We are the center of God's action, and that center of God's action is neutralizing and dissolving anything that would try to resist or reject this pure and perfect idea that Spirit has of us in its mind. One mind and one power, being all there is what we realize, recognize, understand, for we have the power within us. And right here and right now, Spirit provides us with new ideas for how to use this power, this latent power that so far has gone unused or perhaps misused, that we now know how to use this power to create a life of magnificence, a life of abundant good, a life of prosperity, a life of wealth and love and health. For we ask for and we receive all that we desire and require and so much more. For Spirit is a giving Mother, Father, God, a giving presence, giving us more than we can ever use. And so we give out. We are the channels in which and through which Spirit gives, Spirit flows, Spirit functions, Spirit heals, Spirit bless, not only ourselves and our being, but all those with whom we come into contact. And so we accept the blessing of Spirit, and we pass this blessing on freely, generously, right here and now. And all our ways are well, and it is so. And so as this good we let go, it returns to us as a blessing, and we are grateful to Spirit that we are blessed in everything that we do this day, and all our ways are well. And it is so, and so it is.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you for that beautiful treatment, Barbara. That was really wonderful. That will really set the foundation this morning for our lesson and everything that we are doing. Thank you. What a blessing. Okay, and now it's a pleasure to introduce to you Catherine Hollow. She's going to do our reading today. So please help me welcome Catherine.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to do a prayer for guidance. So if you all just sit back in your chairs, take a deep breath, and with gratitude, I turn to the Spirit within and guidance. Communication and direction are mine, right here and right now. In the quietness of my mind, the place within me where our minds are joined as one, I listen to the voice of wisdom and truth, and I know what to do right now. I understand, and I receive spiritual guidance, which fills my heart and my mind completely. Spirit directs my every step. In all that I do, I acknowledge the presence within and allow and receive and give thanks for that wisdom, strength, and serenity that is already mine, right here, right now. As I feel and experience the constant presence within me, I joyfully receive communication, insight, inspiration, gently guiding me on my path and making my way sure. It is the guiding light that illumines my path. This voice within me gives me the understanding, insight, and spiritual guidance I need to make wise and compassionate decisions for not just myself, but for others, for the world, for the universe. I have an infinite source of peace, love, wisdom, which radiates throughout my being, my community, my family, my world, my universe. I am perfectly guided. Love enfolds me, and light illuminates every part of my being. I'm eternally grateful for this spiritual guidance, and I give thanks. It is always being within me, and so it is.
Thank you for that, Catherine. That was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Divine guidance and gratitude. The class that I am teaching has started last week, but you still have time if you want to join us. It's called the 5 Gifts, and GIFTS is an acronym: gratitude, forgiveness, gratitude, intention, forgiveness, tithing, and surrender. It's a wonderful class, and we started it last week, and we will continue. It's an 8-week class, so it will finish up sometime in May. So having said that, I would also like to tell you about this Wednesday night. Barbara Munlin is doing something this Wednesday night over at the Unitarian Center. There is a flyer on the back table. Change your thinking, change your life, how to understand and use the power of your word. So if you want to learn about treatment, if you want to learn about the power of your own word and how to use it, please join Barbara Munlin over at the Community Center, the Unitarian Center at West 76th Street. And if you need more information, please see Barbara Munlin after service. She'll be happy to help you. There are flyers on the back table. Yes, they are. Very nice. And also, we have something else here. We have a lot of stuff going on. We are going to have Michel Pascal back again. He's going to be doing a concert for us the last Sunday in April. They call him the Medicine Voice. He's amazing. Many of you have heard him already. I can't wait for him to be here. He will bless all of us. I know that. He will bless us, and he just has a transformative way about him. I mean, his presence, his voice. I just can't tell you enough about the man, and I know that most of you will want to be here for that wonderful occasion. So that really does it for our announcements for today. And now, please help me welcome the one and only Yoichi. Thank you. That was beautiful. Really nice. Very nice. So, very beautiful song. We are starting our lesson this morning with a book from my teacher, Dr. Stuart Grayson. And I just want to kind of give you some information about divine guidance and what you are asking for. So, when we ask for and receive the divine guidance, we are looking for something. We are asking for something. We are making a request upon the mind, not the human mind, but the mind of spirit, the mind of God, the universal power and intelligence, which is always there for us. But this lesson this morning is, what will you do with this mind, this power that is always within you? What are you going to do with it? How will you use it? That's what the lesson is about. Divine intelligence and how you will use it. So our reality, the nature of intelligence, comes out of the one mind. And I love something that Dr. Grayson said. I was guided to this in his collected essays. I love what he says here, and I will find that in a moment. He says, Ernest Holmes makes a very interesting statement in the Science of Mind textbook. He says, and I quote, "The nature of reality is such that universal mind has unlimited power, but as far as we are concerned, it has only the power which we give to it." Are you clear about that? Be clear about that. In other words, there is a power and presence for good. It is omnipresent, everywhere, evenly present. We all get to use it. But he says, unlimited power, but for you only as much experience of power as you give to it. And then he goes on to say, you are not creating this power. This power, this greater power, functions when you stop rebelling against it. It functions when you stop resisting and rejecting it. And then he says, at the point of which you begin to recognize, appreciate, and realize, it begins to flow through you in a greater way. So I want you to really get this morning, because this is really what this teaching is all about. It is about the power and presence that is always there for us and what we will do when we are using it. So if you are clear that there is a power within you and you get to use it, how will you use it? That is really the question. So the title of the talk is, what are you asking for? And I really want you to be clear that when you are asking for something, you have all of these talents within you. You have all of these abilities within you. What will you do with them? That's really the challenge that you have and I have. Each and every one of us receives a blessing. Each and every one of us are inspired and uplifted. But this morning, I want to share some ideas with you about the power of asking for and receiving what you would like to have. So this morning, we had a wonderful treatment with the areas of life. We had a wonderful reading which spoke to us about the prayer of divine guidance. So in the beginning of this year, if you remember, we had the first month of January was prosperity. And I said to you then, go home. I just want to, by a show of hands, not to embarrass you, but how many people remember this and did it? Go home and take your idea about money that you're feeling right now and write it down very clearly and very succinctly so that you understand how you're feeling about money. And then I said, cover it up with a piece of paper and write a new idea about money. You remember that? Yes. So some of you did that. Okay. So being the teacher that I am, I'm going to keep you all after school today because you didn't do your homework. What I'd like you to really recognize, understand, and accept is that unless you do something, unless you take a step and take an action, nothing is going to happen that will be any different for you. How many people get that? All of you. Good. Some of you are very resistant. I see that resistance. You're holding on to it for dear life. I'm angry and I'm going to stay angry and nobody's going to take that away from me. Okay, be angry. What I'm saying to you, though, is this is what I did. I took my own advice. I went home and I wrote my idea about money, which was, okay, so I have some money, I'm comfortable, but I have to work so hard for my money. And I owe some bills, and I don't really want to owe those bills. And I was very clear and very honest with myself. And then I covered it up. And I wrote a new idea, and I'll share it with you. This idea says, I live under the law of increase, and money flows to me easily and effortlessly. And I wrote that down, and I began to work with that idea. And things are really improving in that area of my life. I have been guided to a lot of wonderful new things that are giving me new opportunities and new blessings. Now, if I can do it, you can do it. We all can do it together. So I am inviting you this morning in this lesson to not only listen to me, but to go home and do something, okay? Like I tell you sometimes, don't just sit there, do something, right? So let's take another area of your life. Maybe it's your health for you. Maybe you're very comfortable with your money, and you've had this idea about health, and you're clinging to it and holding on, and it could be emotional health. Emotional health and well-being is very important, folks, because mind, body, they're just getting this. The doctors are now getting this. The mind, the body, and the emotions are all connected. They are all connected. So you could take your idea about health, go home and write it down and take a look at it, and then get a new idea for yourself. And begin to work with that idea throughout the year. Because then you will be asking for something different. Do you see where I'm going with this? When you ask for divine guidance and you keep telling the universe that you always get sick. I know a lot of people that are always at the doctors. I mean, I'm not saying anything about doctors. Doctors help us, they're good to us. But we don't have to always be there if we will get a new idea about our health and then work with that idea. And get that idea so clearly that we are blessed, uplifted, and inspired by it in our health and well-being. We have to know that the spirit of life indwells us and is part of every area of our lives. How about creativity and self-expression? So I'm writing this book, and I've been writing it for a very long time. I think I've shared this with you. So my idea about writing a book, I wrote a book back in 2003, that little booklet that I did, and I did it very quickly. It was real easy. But this one is not so easy. But I've been telling myself, so today I will go home and get a new idea about my self-expression. I have to work with that. How many of you in here do some kind of self-expression, some kind of creativity? Everyone. So what is it that you would like to have versus what is it that you are asking for? Because when you are angry and ticked off at the world, you are going to get more of that. So if you want to keep doing that, be my guest. I don't want to do that anymore. Someone said to me last night, it was a great compliment from a dear friend of mine. She said, you know, Loretta, you're really living this work. And the reason that I'm living it is because I am doing the things that I'm saying that you need to do. I'm doing them. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. If you have a whole year from this month until next year to change something, why not do it? Why not go in that direction? In other words, you are going in a direction anyway. Why not change it? Right? Get a new idea about your health and well-being. If you're tired of having health challenges, write it down. I'm tired of this. I'm letting it go. I'm releasing it. It no longer serves me. And my new idea is that I have health and well-being in every cell, organ, tissue, and activity of my physical body. And if it's emotional for you, and that's a tough one, I'm not going to say it isn't. Maybe you really want to hang on for dear life because somebody done you wrong. Anybody ever sing that one? I used to. Yes. We can all do that, or we can get a new song to sing. We can change that attitude, change that idea. Write that idea down and then get a new idea, cover it up, and then at the end of the year, see how much you've accomplished with your new idea. So we have health, self-expression, and relationships. Those are the areas, prosperity. We have the money, the relationships, the creativity and self-expression and relationships. Do you want to stay in the relationship with yourself that you're currently having? Are you hard on yourself? Are you difficult with yourself? Are you being too difficult? Don't beat yourself up over this stuff. Just face it. My teacher used to say, and I love his words, face it and erase it. When you face something, you erase it in consciousness by giving yourself that new idea. That idea that inspires you and blesses you. And every day when I wake up, I am grateful. I do my spiritual practice. I am grateful for my life every day. If you want to wait 20 years to get to be grateful about your life, be my guest. I'd rather do it today. I'm glad you're laughing. That's good. Laughter is good. Laughter is good medicine. I really want to be grateful every day. We all have days on the planet. No matter what's going on, I want to be grateful. Right? Last week we had the challenges of coming in here. There were a lot of challenges. This week there were more. You know what I did? Instead of getting all ruffled, I just said a prayer and I released everything and I knew that I'd be guided to the right and perfect parking lot, and I was. And it all worked out. See, it's your inner knowingness. But when you are asking the wrong questions, when you are holding on to that old idea that I'll never have enough, that I can't do this, and we all do this. I do it. I have this idea about this book, and I think it would be a really nice book for people, especially in the teaching, because it's about affirmative prayer. However, I keep telling myself this is really difficult. You ever do that? That's what I've been saying. This is so difficult. I have, probably written 4 or 5 chapters, maybe 3 more to go, and it's so difficult. And then I'll meet people. This is what happens. I'll meet people who will agree with me about how difficult it is to write a book. Yes? See where I'm going? So when you do that, whatever you are doing, you will get people to agree with you. Oh, I just heard from somebody a couple weeks ago. Oh, Loretta, it's so tough to write a book. It is really difficult. They're mirroring what I'm thinking, honestly. So when you get a new idea about something, whatever it may be, you are asking a different question. What are you asking for, and what are you willing to receive for your life? That new idea about self-expression. Today I'm inspiring myself because I'm going to go home and get a new idea about writing this book. That it's going to be easier for me and that I will accomplish it. Relationships. Those are tough. They're not easy because you can never change another person. You ever tried changing another person? Did it work? If it did, you have to let me know about it because I really want to understand how you did it. Because we all do that with people in our lives. We want to change them. We want to make them different. But when we finally accept them, then the change begins. Because acceptance changes everything. When you accept yourself and you accept other people, then you can come to care for yourself, to accept. Acceptance, the power of acceptance, it's very, very strong. Gratitude, acceptance. So in relationship, if you keep telling yourself something about another person, they're this, they're that, da-da, on and on it goes. Why can't they do this way? Why can't they? You have to change your idea in that relationship. And it's the same thing with the relationship we all have with ourselves, right? Everyone in this room has a relationship with the self within. And when you go within, when you ask a question, when you sincerely know what it is that you are seeking, you will find it. Be kind to yourself. Self-care is so important, especially today. Do good things for yourself. Maybe write down the idea about your relationship with yourself. How do you feel about yourself? What are you doing for yourself that will improve your abilities in life? The talent is there in each and every one of us, however we choose to express it. It is our choice as to how we are expressing ourselves with our loved ones and with ourselves individually. And it's also a relationship that you have with the spirit within you. You have a relationship with spirit. Deepak Chopra says, relationship is everything. That's what he says. You have a relationship with everything in your life. It took me a long time to realize that, but it's really true. And when you begin to understand that, everything begins to shift in your consciousness. You have a relationship to your environment. You have a relationship if you have a car, if you travel, whatever it is. When you meet people, you're in relationship to them. I was away for a couple of days this week, and there's this lovely woman that works at this place. She's like a greeter and a hostess. She's been there for a very long time. And I actually said, you know, somebody should be honoring this woman. She's there for like 15 years, always gracious, always, you know, seating people with a smile on her face, an older lady, very, very lovely. So when I came out of the dining room, I met this woman who was an executive there. And I walked up to her and I said, I really want to ask you a question. She got this really scared look on her face, like, oh wow, what's she going to be complaining about now? I said, no, without her even speaking, it's good news. And her eyes lit up, like she was so happy to hear from someone, good news. And I said to her, you know, you have an employee in that room, in that dining room, who is so wonderful, so gracious. She's been there for a long time. I think you should do something for her. And that was really a wonderful thing for me to do. When you start to practice the acts of kindness rather than finding fault. You know, years ago, I could go in there with a group of women, and I can't even tell you some of the things that they would say about the place. And the place is beautiful. But now I have an appreciation. I appreciate people. Appreciation, that's what Dr. Grayson is talking about. When he says to appreciate something, when you appreciate the spirit in your life, you give it more power, you recognize it. You know that it's there for you and doing for you what you cannot do sometimes for yourself. Surrender. The power of surrender, of letting go, of the little me that says I can't do it, and surrendering to the power that is greater, that will give to us whatever it is that we are seeking. Whatever it is that we are seeking is seeking us. We have to get out of our own way. I always remember those words, get your bloated nothingness out of the way. Remember? And then I remember Oscar Wilde, who said, be yourself, everyone else is taken. So that's also a very good thing to live by, right? Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. So the more that we care for ourselves, the more that we nurture ourselves through prayer, meditation, gratitude practices, the more alive we become. And the more alive we become is because we are awakening to the spiritual idea of the spirit within us. You see? We are turning a corner. We are going in a new direction without complaint, but with the energy of appreciation and recognition, recognizing that there is a spirit within us that blesses us each and every day. And when we appreciate something, it shifts everything for us. Appreciating the gifts that we have been given. We have been given so many gifts in this lifetime. My friends just came back from Cuba. And I'm not getting political here, but I'm just sharing the story because it's very interesting. It was my one friend who lives down in Miami is from Cuba, and she came here as a little girl. But I said to her, how was your trip to Cuba? It must have been interesting. And she said to me, Loretta, I'm going to tell you something. We were so happy to get home. I didn't know what was going on. You know, you don't know sometimes in other countries. That's a beautiful island, but they get coupons for everything. For their food, for their clothing. They get coupons every week for different things to eat. They're not allowed to choose sometimes. It's not in my awareness. So I feel like sometimes we have to appreciate the good in our lives. What we appreciate will grow. You know, we live in a country, it's not perfect, we know that. However, we do have a lot of good in this country. And we have to really be appreciative of the people around us. Rather than knocking people down, pick people up. That's what I say. And I was so grateful to do that for that woman. They asked me for my name and where I live, but I know that they're going to do something wonderful for her. I really felt that very strongly. And I also know for each and every one of you that how many of you now are going to get an idea about something, go home and write your old idea and then write your new one? Okay, please, yes, I would love that. And then we can share our ideas and you can let me know. Even if you don't want to do it, even if you go kicking and screaming, I've done that. Haven't you ever done that? You go kicking and screaming, I don't want to let go of this. Who will I be? What will I be without it? You will be something so wonderful that you won't even recognize yourself. That's who you will be. You will be able to do things because you are being spiritually guided. The human condition is upon us all the time. We must get out of it and get into a new state of mind, a new consciousness that will bring us all kinds of joy and inspiration and good things. Practicing the presence. That is a wonderful practice. It truly is. And so I also want to say to you today that we are calling for something greater, the power and the presence within us. We must not remain in the same state of mind. And so asking for something different is really believing in yourself to let go. And I want to find in this book another quote from Dr. Grayson. I love his books. I love to read. You know, he had such an amazing way of teaching. But he says something very profound in here. He says, the talent is there. We have been given the talent, but we have to use it. We have to develop what we have. The talent is there, but we must improve the way we use this talent that we have. We learn more and more how to reveal the inner treasure, and then we take the inner treasure and use it. Therefore, we say it is brought forth. We don't take it and put it upon ourselves. We bring it forth from within ourselves. Do you see what he's saying? You have all of these talents. You have all of these abilities to create good health in your life, to create better relationships in your life. Maybe you're not ready yet for a really good relationship, and that's okay. Just let it be okay. Don't fight it. Don't resist, don't reject, don't rebel. The 3 R's. And he said, substitute that with appreciation, recognition, and realization. Realizing that there is a power within you, that it operates for you all of the time. And you have the ability to say yes to it. Yes to more of the good. Yes. Not no, but yes. To appreciation, recognition. Recognizing that there's a power that strengthens you and blesses you each and every day. Practicing the gratitude, the gratefulness. Doing the things that you love to do. You know, you find out something that you love to do and you do more of it. When I first stopped listening to the news, I started listening to Hauser. Hauser is a cellist. I speak about him all the time. He is one of the most brilliant musicians on the planet right now, in my opinion. He's going to be in New York in April. I would love to get to go and see him. He is amazing. He plays all these different songs, very inspirational. I love that, so I do more of that for myself. Find things that you love to do and do more of them. And then ask the universe to bless you, uplift you, and inspire you. And sometimes, as was shared last week in the class that we're having, we talk about thinking that we want something for our greater good when we get something else. And we realize that that something else becomes a gift for us. It really does. So what are you asking for? And what are you willing to do about it? If you want to sit here every week and do nothing, that's fine. You know, I did that with Dr. Grayson for a number of years, and I've talked about this before. I'd sit there and I'd listen to him, but I didn't really begin to practice it. And once you begin to practice it, everything begins to change for you. Wayne Dyer speaks about that. He spoke about the shift. When you get a shift in your consciousness, it doesn't come from sitting and listening. It comes from listening and doing and being. Because when you become more valuable to yourself and others, your value increases. You can pray to increase your value, to increase your self-esteem, to increase whatever. I believe right now, this day, that I live under the law of increase and that money is always flowing in and out of my life. That's my new belief system. That's what I believe today. I forgot what I wrote down, but I will look at it at the end of the year. And I'm asking each and every one of you in here, can each one of you think of something that you would like to create in a different way? Yes. So when you go home, whatever that is for you, write it down, cover it up with a paper, be honest with yourself. There's nobody looking at you over your shoulder. You know, sometimes I find when I'm going to write something down, I wonder if anybody's going to find out about how I think about this. But it doesn't matter. You write it down, you get clear about it, you cover it up, and then you write the new idea. The new idea. Maybe you're having a challenge with your health and you'd like to improve it. Write that down and put down the new idea. A relationship, a dear friend, someone who's come in or out of your life. Write down the old idea and bring in the new. Because you know what? It's not only about New Year's. Every day is a new beginning. I will say that over and over again. You get up out of bed and you have a new day to do something differently. A new day to be healthier. A new day to create something wonderful for yourself. I don't know about you, but I'm very inspired by this lesson this morning. I really am. I have to say that out loud. I'm inspiring myself as well as you. I'm going to go home and I am going to do what I just told myself to do. And I told all of you to do that, and I would really love it if you will do it, because I know that it will bless you. It will bless your consciousness. It will uplift you and inspire you. And maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, you know, Reverend Loretta, I'm home now. I'm not doing that much. Of course you're doing something. Maybe you're planning to travel somewhere. Maybe you can go to a travel agent and look for places to visit. Whatever it is that you would like to do. There are many people in here that are in theater arts. Write down the new idea about what's going to happen. Stop telling yourself how difficult everything is. Because it may be difficult, but you can do it. That's the thing. You can do it. And you have to get that can-do-it attitude. You have to know that you are blessed by the Spirit within you. When you are guided by Spirit, nothing is impossible that you would like to achieve or accomplish. Whether it be in a relationship, but you have to face your own reality. You have to think about, someone called me this week and this person had the appearance of breast cancer and also has a very, very strong feeling toward a relative. And it's the word H-A-T-E. I don't even like to say that word. But that's really how she feels, and she doesn't want to let it go. And she's demonstrating something in her body. And so I said, you know, you have to, at least if you can't let it go, be willing. And that's not to make you feel guilty if you have any kind of a health challenge. That's not what that's about. It's about looking at your own self, getting clarity about something, and then being able to release it with love. And just say, I am willing. I am willing to let go of this. Show me how. You know, if you don't want to let go of it, just be willing. Have the willingness to let go of it. Be willing. And ask Spirit to guide you. So I want to leave you with this information. I want to ask you once again, what is it that you are asking for yourself? And what are you believing about any area of your life? Are you willing to correct it? And are you willing to ask again? That is really the question. You can ask for something, and if you are asking for the resistance, the rejection, and when you do this, it's about your idea, getting clear. What is it that I really think about something? Money, health, relationships, and creativity and self-expression. How do I feel about that? Write it down, whatever the area. Cover it up and write your new idea. And look at it every day and begin to work with it as an idea. Because you do have the power. You have to know that. You have to awaken it. It's like what Dr. Grayson says. It is within each and every one of us. We all have our inner treasures. We are all, each and every one of us, blessed, uplifted, and inspired. I'm going to close this lesson with a spiritual mind treatment for each and every one of you to begin to let go of the old and resonate with the new ideas. So let's know this truth together. If you close your eyes, take a deep breath in, relax, release, and let go. And let's know this truth together. The one power that created each and every person in this room, including the speaker, is at work right now in this room. It is omnipresent, it is all-knowing and all-powerful, and it is now working through each and every one of us in consciousness to create the new ideas, to bless everyone in this room with this new idea, to cover up the old and to work with this new idea, to get clear about it, to get clarity as the Spirit goes before each and every one of us to make the crooked places straight. We are, each and every one of us, empowered by this word to move out into life in a new direction with greater health, greater wealth, greater clarity about our old ideas and our ability with spirit to renew them, to be inspired with these new ideas that enrich our lives. Each and every one of us receives a blessing from this message this morning, from this lesson, from this work this morning, from everyone in this community. All of us together are one power, one presence. And what we are seeking is seeking us. And as a result of this word, each and every person in this room has an incredible demonstration this week. This is the truth, and I say this with conviction and gratitude. Everyone in this room is blessed, uplifted, and inspired by the Spirit within, recognizing their inner treasures and bringing them to life in a new, more wonderful way than ever before up until this point in time and space. All of these words are the truth for each one of us, and they are now released to the great law of mind in action, where they are free to do their perfect work, and they do. Any thoughts of negation are released into the nothingness from whence they came, and the spiritual ideas flow to each and every one of us. We are directed and divinely guided. This word is the truth, released to law with love. So be it, and together we say, and so it is. And that is the way it is. And so ends our lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, our wonderful Yoichi. Yoichi?
Okay, thank you. Well, as soon as I stepped in today this morning, Gary was playing some Carpenters, so it just dominates my mind right now. So I'm gonna play another Carpenters, and well, hope you enjoy it. Something uplifting.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here this morning and to everyone that has helped. And Court, thank you for doing the lovely flyers for us for Michelle Pascal. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. And remember, if you can, this Wednesday night to be there for Barbara. It's going to be a wonderful evening, the power of your word. And today's class will resume, and it's wonderful. It's the 5 gifts, the gifts of spirit, the gifts of abundance. So if you can be a part of that, we would love to have you join us. And right now is our time.